Hi everyone, welcome to Yarnspirations. I'm Jennifer and this is our designer Nicole.
Hi.
And we're really excited to be here today to hang out.
Yeah.
I am. And before we go any further, I just want to tell all of you about 6 new shades of Burnout Pop, which are available on site today. We have 2 shades here.
Yeah, this is Snow Queen, and this is Rainy Day.
Rainy Day.
Yeah.
It's not rainy here in Toronto today.
No, it's not snowy either.
Is it snowing where you are? I hope not. Let us know in the comments where you're viewing from today and drop us a line. So, Nicole, what are we going to talk about today?
Today we're going to talk about when you are in the mood for a new knitting or crochet pattern and how you would go about finding a pattern that you want and what kind of things you're thinking about when you're starting a new project.
Yes, and I will tell you that I am a knitter, but I would not say that I'm an advanced knitter.
Okay, perfect.
I have a bit of a problem
Okay.
in that I like to purchase large quantities of yarn
Okay.
and store them without a pattern.
Right.
So I'd love your thoughts on inspiration
Right.
for choosing a pattern, knit or crochet. What's your process?
Okay, I am much like you. I have a closet and a shelving unit and some other storage spots in my home that are full of yarn. And I buy it because I love it, and then I don't really know. I'm like, I'll think of something later to knit with that. So I think like if you have some yarn that you love, it's better to knit it and bring it out into the world than to keep it stashed away. So I think the first thing to look for, like say you have the yarn but you don't know which pattern you want to do, on Yarnspirations.com, all our patterns are categorized in knitting or crochet, so you could choose whichever skill that you're after. We also have a large variety of skill levels, all the way from beginner to intermediate. I think we even have more that are OMG, like super advanced. So if you wanted to pick one of those,
I'll just go for it.
Yeah,
Go for it.
And then, like, are you knitting for yourself? Is it a gift for somebody? How much time do you want to invest in it? All things to think about. Like if you want to knit something quick for yourself, or if you only have one ball of precious yarn in your stash that you want to use, then you might look for something small, like a cowl or a hat or something like that.
Or little hand warmers.
Yeah,
or something.
just something small.
Yeah, no, that's great. And you know what is I think not enough of us, or maybe there are some of you out there who take the summer months to really tackle some of those holiday gifts. Whether they're small projects or larger projects, but just getting a head start and finding those patterns that are appropriate.
Yeah, like sometimes every once in a while I'll go through my yarn and kind of set it out and like think, okay, this would be great for a sweater, this would be great for a hat. Like I know it's my mom's birthday coming up, she loves purple or whatever, so I'll be like, this would be great for my mom. So if you just take stock of what you have and kind of pair them with patterns.
I love that idea, and I'm sorry, I'm just getting really excited now, but I think maybe even setting aside those balls in maybe a clear plastic bag with your printed out pattern.
Perfect.
What? And then you can get ready, then when as soon as you're finished one pattern, one project, then you can start the next, and it's all ready to go.
Exactly, and that's great for, like you said, summer, like if you're going on holiday. I fall into the trap of my clothes are all packed. That's all packed. But like an hour before I'm supposed to leave, I'm like, oh my gosh, what project am I going to bring? And I'm like trying to go through like my Pinterest boards of things that I've wanted to knit in my yarn. But if I had them all in clear plastic bags, I could just grab them.
I love that. Yeah, right?
Perfect.
Tell us what you are working on right now. Just leave a message in the comments. If you love that idea, click that love button. Let us know. Or the surprise button. Okay, maybe not the surprise button. Definitely not the crying button, but the love button. So show us some love. Let us know what you think. If you have any of your ideas that you want to share, let us know. And post a comment below.
Yeah, question. questions too. Anything.
anything you like. so maybe I can show you my work in progress.
Yeah, I'd love to see works in progress.
So I'm working on a corner to corner blanket.
Okay, this is a great beginner.
Now I've taken our project and I actually didn't do seed stitch. I just decided to knit back and forth, so I didn't kind of confuse myself. So I made it even more beginner. So I went a little bit rogue.
Yeah. So is this? It's like a corner to corner baby blanket.
Corner to corner baby blanket, and it's the first time that I'm knitting on circular needles.
Okay.
I've always been used to doing it on straight, so my colleagues have convinced me to enter into the world of circular. Did you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me a little bit about the benefits. I don't quite understand, but what the benefits are on doing circular versus straight.
Well, like something baby blanket, especially a corner to corner blanket where you're starting off with just a few stitches and you're increasing every other row, then your stitches are going to grow and there's just going to be too many for straight needles. So working on things like blankets when you're going to have you're going to have quite a few stitches by the time you get to the center of your blanket. You can kind of bunch them all up on your circular needle. They accommodate quite a few stitches without having to, I don't know, it's just finicky when they're all bunched up on your straights.
On the, and I find easier to slip off.
Yeah.
When you are traveling. I have, knock on wood, yet to lose a stitch.
Yeah.
So
and a great thing is if you just have a small rubber band or something, if you're shoving this in your bag, you can just put it around the tips of your needles.
That's a great tip.
Yeah. Or sometimes if you just sometimes I'll do this and then kind of jab them into the bottom.
I like that because I usually do this.
Yeah.
Doesn't always work. But if you like the rubber band technique, make sure you hit that love button or let us know what technique you have.
Yeah.
And I believe we have a comment, Magda.
So we have a couple comments from what people are working on.
Okay.
So Roseanne's working, so she says she's inspired by Mikey and she loves to create her own scarves and baby blankets. Melissa's currently, she crochets a lot as gifts and a lot for herself. Lisa's currently working on blankets for Christmas gifts, and Valerie's working on a C2C scarf.
Nice.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Make sure you share that photo with us and let us see your work in progress.
Cool. Yeah. So inspiration come from all sorts of places, and the crochet crowd has so many, such a great community. So it's also good to get your inspiration from others that are in the community, in your crafting community. And with the internet, your community is worldwide.
Absolutely. And if you love the crochet crowd, make sure you hit that love button.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe we have a question.
Lindsay is asking, what types of projects are your favorite to travel with?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, well, definitely one of my all-time favorite traveling projects is socks, because they're very small and I have a little project bag and they just sit in there, and I have socks in my purse almost all the time.
Wow, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's so great. No, I've never tackled socks yet.
Yeah,
So,
maybe after your blanket.
and those are on double and pointed needles.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Getting a little stressed out thinking about it, but
Just take it one stitch at a time.
one stitch at a time. One stitch at a time. So, what's your favorite project to travel it with? Do you like to travel with a crochet project or a knitting project? Do you like to knit on planes, crochet on planes, at the beach? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. Could you on a train?
So we have another comment.
So Vivian is currently working on a 4,000 granny square bedspread for a queen size bed.
Wow. Are you sure that's a queen size bed? Sounds like a king. That's
4,000. Yes. Please post a picture. 4,000. So I'd love to know also
4,000.
how many have you done so far? How long does it take you? That's amazing. 4,000. Are you sure? No, 400. 4,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know. we would love to see.
Uh-huh. So when did you start your blankets?
I started my blanket about, I'm ashamed to tell you, about 4 weeks ago. But I have, this is actually done in burlap wool roving.
Okay.
And I had a few random balls.
Right.
In different shades.
Perfect.
So I'm planning on doing stripes, and it's, you know, pretty easy, but would love to chat with you actually, we can chat with you now about changing colors on a project and finishing.
Okay,
So maybe we can just jump to chat about that for a second.
Are you talking about changing colors like when you're at the end of this ball?
Yes, I'm gonna be at the end of the ball. No, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself and do it midway. Let's just stick to one ball at a time, but finishing.
Okay, so like when you are over the peach and you want to join your next thing, it's so simple. All you would do is just cut this and start your next row, usually on a right side.
Okay.
And just join that. And then with knitting at the end, you would weave in all your ends.
And am I weaving them in across the join or down the side?
With garter stitch, it's the easiest to, there's like all these little garter stitch bumps. So you would weave them into a row of the bumps and then weave on the bottom of the row too, just to like do an over and over, and an in and an out, just to get it secure, and then just trim close to the thing. Never tie a knot and trim very close to that knot, because that's sad. Okay,
I'm gonna bite my tongue.
We have a question.
So Nancy is asking, she's making a pair of socks in size 11. She's not sure what yarn to use or pattern.
Okay, well, some things to consider when you're knitting socks. I have a lot of friends and family that love knitted socks, but some of them are maybe sensitive to wool. So you would want to use either, like, luckily, we have two great brands. We have Peyton's Croy Socks, which is a wool and nylon brand combo of yarn that's really great, super washable. You can throw those into your washer and dryer just like any other socks. And we also have Burnett Socks, which is an acrylic nylon blend for those people who maybe are a little sensitive to wool. And either one make great socks. I prefer that fingering weight yarn. It's very thin. You'd use a pretty small needle if you're comfortable with that. But I think on our website we have socks that range from fingering weight, like a very fine yarn, all the way up to a chunky yarn. So it just depends on your comfort level.
That's a great question that we'll ask after this comment.
Vivian is currently at 1,100 squares over 4,000.
1,100.
It's amazing. How long has 1,100 taken? I want to bring Vivian on.
25% of the way there.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Let us know if you need help.
Vivian's
Not me.
got it. She's got it.
Nicole. So, can we jump back to talking about weight?
Mm-hmm.
So, fingering weight for a sock. Okay, blanket. We're looking for a thicker yarn.
Right. So with socks, like if you want to wear them in shoes, you would want a thinner yarn. Just so that you're not like jamming your feet in
Totally makes
socks.
Totally makes sense.
But if you want socks to snuggle up around at home, like a reading sock, then you would use a bulkier yarn.
Or wearing your Sorel boots.
Right. For blankets, because blankets are normally a larger project, bulkier yarn will make the project go faster. So you're not knitting. Like if you could imagine knitting a blanket out of sock yarn, that would take quite a long time.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. So depending on the pattern that you choose and the yarn that you're choosing is really going to dictate how long it's going to take you to make it. So you can choose an appropriate pattern for whatever amount of time you have. So if you're going on a 1 week vacation, you might want to take something
a little bulkier.
Yes.
Yeah. Or like if you check your calendar and you realize, oh, I got a baby shower tomorrow, then you're not going to pick out like a baby weight yarn project, you might want to knit them like a chunky hat overnight or something.
Right. And I've heard that crocheting is fast. I'm not a crocheter, but I've heard that crocheting is faster than knitting.
Yeah, like definitely I feel like I can whip up a crochet thing much faster than knitting, but I feel like it just depends on what you're more comfortable with, right? Like there's also some speedy knitters out there we have some who can just like knit a sweater in a couple days. It's pretty amazing.
And if you have a record winning time for completing a sweater or a scarf, let us know in the comments.
I also love to hear about the projects that people have been making for years, because it makes me feel a little bit better about maybe those ones that I have.
I have one mitten hanging out at home waiting for a friend. And we have another comment.
So on that, Vivian has been making her 4,000 granny square Afghan for a little over 2 years.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's amazing dedication. I love that.
Amazing.
So also, I have more questions for Vivian.
What color? Actually, on that note, let's chat about color.
Yeah.
So I've got a bit of a mishmash going to be happening.
Okay.
So luckily I've got, this is a nice bright coral shade, but I do have an off-white that I plan on sandwiching in between, because then my next shade is a teal.
Okay.
So I didn't want to put it right against the coral. So
Yeah.
I know you're great at color, so maybe you can talk to us a little bit about color philosophy.
Well, like there's just some basic things about color. I feel like what it really boils down to is your personal preference, right? Like nobody can tell you what color to love or which colors go together if you believe in what you believe. But my favorite thing is the color wheel. I love this guy, and it's just a helpful tool, like picking complementary colors or stepping colors. So if you see a pattern, say on our website, and it's red, and you like, or a blanket, let's say, and it's red, gray, and off-white, and you like those colors, but you don't have those in your yarn shop or whatever. So if you take a look at the color wheel, you can choose complementary colors like orange, purple, green go together. You're looking for this triangle of colors that live harmoniously. You want to choose colors that contrast nicely together. Like if you choose colors that don't have enough contrast, it's not going to read very well. So your idea about putting that off-white between this coral and the teal is a really good one, because teal and coral right beside each other might be a little much for the eye. Like two saturated colors right beside each other divided by a neutral is a great idea. So I think it's just a matter of maybe looking around your home if you're making something for your home, and choosing a accent color that you really love, and then complementing that accent color with maybe some neutrals or something, so that accent color is really what stands out.
Now I have a couch at home that's green, and I would love to knit some pillows.
Okay.
So would you stay in the same family, or shall we look on the opposite end of the spectrum?
It all depends on the look you're going for. Like if you want a tonal, tone-on-tone look, then going inside this color family would be great. But also if you just want to switch it up and be a little bold with your
Little
choice.
pop art, right?
Yeah, then just go explore the world.
With the
Down
mauves
here.
and the lavenders.
Yeah, and something like a pillow, it's pretty small, so you could knit that up, and it's like, even if it's just trendy for a couple months or like a year or whatever, then it's totally good.
And you can just move into another room.
Yeah.
Put it on your bed.
Yeah.
You don't want it on your couch anymore. We have another question.
So we have a couple of questions about Bernat Pop. How many yards and ounces is it? And what the difference is between it and variegated yarn?
Okay, so these little cakey comes in, it's 140 gram ball ball, which is 5 ounces, and the yardage is very good. It's 280 yards for a ball. And the difference between the variegates is that you're going to get a really awesome striping situation going on. So how it's arranged in the ball, you can kind of visualize how it would look if you were to make a blanket, or like there's a kid's poncho on this label. So the striping that occurs in the ball is what your project's going to look like. And when we designed the yarn, we really took into consideration that you're going to be making things with a longer stripe pattern, like blankets or shawls or like even sweaters. So there is enough yardage per stripe so that you're going to get like really nice stripe definition.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm we've got some great patterns that are featured on our ball bands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing this all for one crochet blanket will take 6 balls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's like, it's not that much yarn considering, because the yardage is so
Totally.
good. Yeah.
Nice and compact.
Mm-hmm.
And we have another question.
Karen has a question. Where do you get one of the color wheels?
You can get these at any art supply store. You could probably get them also at like a craft store like Michael's or something like that. And also, if you can't find one in a shop, there's tons of stuff like this online. So if you just type in color wheel, then there's so much, there's like a lot of fun little color selector kind of programs online that you can find out, like, I love this kind of green, what colors will complement that.
Pantone is a great resource for color combinations.
Yes, I love the Pantone website. There's lots of cool things to look for on there. Also, I use Pinterest all the time for color combos, where I'll just type in color combos and like all this stuff comes up with, and it's just really inspiring to see different colors combined that maybe you don't think of all the time. It's really awesome. I love colors.
Do you have a favorite color combination? Leave us a comment below. Let us know if you love this rainy day shade, because I really do.
It would look lovely.
Thank you. Well, I've got a lot of blues happening today. A lot of blues. And are your ice queen? Ice queen? Snow queen, not ice queen.
Snow Queen isn't really my style, but my 6-year-old daughter probably would go bananas over this.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It looks, actually reminds me of a popsicle.
Yeah.
And we have another question.
How many balls of burnout pop would you need to make a blanket?
Well, this one takes 6. 6, and that's crochet. Crochet usually does tend to take up a little more yarn than knit, so I'd say for a full-size blanket, you're looking at between 5 and 6 balls. And it's a good size blanket that we made for these ball bands, so you're going to get like a really nice full-size afghan out of 6 balls.
No, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? One of these is really nice and compact for throwing in a tote and taking with you.
Yeah, and the way these balls work, like when I'm knitting with it, I just take from the inside. There's the end of the yarn.
Oh, perfect.
Just like that. And then I love to put this in like a drawstring bag.
Nice.
So that just the yarn is sticking out, and it just like keeps it so compact and it's nice and tidy.
And not rolling down the bus.
Right.
Not that that's ever happened to me before. And we have one last question from
Nancy is asking when we're going to announce our secret project we've been talking about.
Nancy, we are very, very close to announcing our secret project. I'm working on it as we speak, and so are the rest of the elves. We're very excited about this holiday themed project. You should be too. If you're not already signed up for our newsletter, you could do so at yarnspirations.com, and you'll be the first to know as soon as it goes live. So thanks everyone for joining us today. Did you like that? You felt really felt a lot of anticipation about the new project.
I love it.
Yeah. But it was great hanging out with you today, Nicole.
Yeah,
can't wait to do it again.
Yeah.
Say let me back on. Anyway, tell us about your projects.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode, give us some love,
Yeah.
and we will see you next time.